My name is Joni Mabin, and I am currently enrolled in the Education Specialist Degree Program in Instructional Technology at Kennesaw State University. I currently teach at Jeff Davis Middle School in rural Hazelhurst, Georgia. Growing up in Hazelhurst, I was eager to return to the system as a teacher. The Jeff Davis County School District is a Title I district where poverty is high, but the community support is even higher. I have just completed my 6th year of teaching at Jeff Davis Middle School, where I have taught both mathematics and English language arts. I have taught in a variety of classroom settings, including inclusion, general education, and ASP or accelerated classes. The title of my capstone is Professional Learning Communities Web 2.0 Implementation. The need that prompted my idea for this capstone was the lack of teacher knowledge and the lack of teacher training for effective technology implementation in the classroom. When training is provided, little to no follow-up is present from administration. For this reason, the drive to implement technology in the classroom is lacking for many teachers at my school. I wanted to change this negative outlook of technology implementation. As Abigail Bryant states, technology doesn't discriminate based on a student's ability or skill, but instead provides an opportunity to engage students using a medium that they recognize. Whether we accept the realization or not, our students live in a technology-driven world. If our vision and mission is to prepare our students for life, we must implement resources that students may utilize in the real world. We must encourage collaboration among students. We must promote higher-order thinking skills. Ultimately, we must reach our students, all of our students, no matter the academic level, and technology can aid in this process. Having understood the overwhelming need for a more proactive means of encouraging effective technology in the classroom at my school, I was left with the question of how to reach my colleagues. I decided to lead a professional learning community, or PLC, at my school as a way to collaborate, integrate, and reflect on Web 2.0 tools and the implementation of these tools in the classroom. Richard DeFore, a respected name in educational reform, states that professional learning communities are a powerful new way of working together that profoundly affects the practices of schooling. Essentially, professional learning communities are a group of individuals who come together for a common purpose, working together to achieve something great, and in this case, effective technology integration. I felt as though this method would provide teachers with the needed face-to-face interaction, as well as extensive modeling and exploration of each Web 2.0 tool. The ultimate goal of the capstone was to increase technology use in the classroom to support student learning, and the professional learning community was an outlet to ensure that teachers felt comfortable in implementing these Web 2.0 tools in their classroom. I implemented my project during the 2016-17 school year. The initial plan for my capstone was to hold a total of 8 monthly PLC sessions that focused on Web 2.0 tools such as all things Google, Classroom, Docs, Sheets, Forms, and Slides, blogging, including KidBlog, vocabulary building, including Quizlet, writing tools such as BoomWriter, and content-specific tools such as Mission US and SumDog. However, due to the needs of the participants and scheduling conflicts, the sessions were altered slightly, but still remained focused on Web 2.0 tool integration. At the conclusion of the series of PLC sessions, I projected that participants would leave with a better understanding of how to effectively integrate Web 2.0 tools in the classroom to increase student engagement, facilitate this student collaboration, and heighten student achievement. Furthermore, I believed that teachers would possess a bank of resources that could be shared with fellow colleagues, ultimately encouraging all teachers at Jeff Davis Middle School to facilitate effective technology integration. Each of the monthly PLC sessions were informally evaluated through shared collaborative tools. Session minutes and discussions were recorded on a Google Doc for future reference. Furthermore, each tool was evaluated by participants on a Google Sheet where teachers documented their feedback and comments on their implementation experience of the resource that month. Finally, I conducted peer observations to provide participants with feedback and encouragement. I initially sent out a survey asking for volunteers for the proposed professional learning community. The survey detailed a schedule of tentative dates and topics. Having all meetings after school, I understood that although the interest may be present, scheduling conflicts might hinder the number of participants. 8 surveys were returned with 5 willing participants. Although the participants were limited, representation from all grade levels and all content areas was present. Once participants were identified, I was eager to begin the PLC sessions. At each of the sessions, I led a discussion and mini-lesson on highlighted Web 2.0 tools. Although I was the lead facilitator, I kept the sessions somewhat informal so that participants had adequate time to explore each of the tools in depth. This exploration led to some amazing discussions on specific ways to incorporate the tools in the classroom, possible obstacles students or teachers may face, and how to overcome these obstacles. All notes from these sessions were recorded on a Google Doc that was shared with all participants for reference. Upon the conclusion of each session, participants were encouraged to implement the highlighted Web 2.0 tool and document their experience, good, bad, or ugly, on a shared Google Doc. Oftentimes, this sheet began our discussion at the subsequent PLC session. Between sessions, I tried to observe as many teachers as possible during their Web 2.0 tool implementation. I offered feedback, suggestions, and encouragement for all participants throughout the process. The feedback that I gained from professional learning community participants was overwhelmingly positive. I feel as though the positive feedback was a boost of morale that teachers at my school needed. Additionally, I feel as though I accomplished my goal of providing some of my colleagues with adequate material and support to help them effectively implement Web 2.0 tools in the classroom. At some point, all of the participants eagerly stated how they would be paying it forward by sharing the information and resources with fellow colleagues. I will continue my part of the Paying It Forward movement by presenting several of these Web 2.0 tools in the fall of next school year. I was nominated to serve as a member of the Systems Technology Dream Team, and this committee will be leading the first annual Technology Summit in September. I will lead 4 sessions discussing the implementation of various Web 2.0 tools. As a prospective technology coach or school improvement specialist, the experience gained through this process was invaluable. I was able to take a leading role through the designing and facilitating of each professional learning community sessions. I loved being able to transfer my knowledge of resources with my colleagues, but also learn alongside the participants. Being a teacher is just as much learning as teaching. I also learned the value of communication. Just as we want our students to communicate effectively, we must model this communication in our own actions. I was fortunate that all of the participants in the professional learning community were eager and willing to share ideas and experiences, good and bad. We learned and grew together through this constant communication. Finally, I learned the importance of sharing one's passion. I am very passionate about technology implementation in the classroom. I know the benefits, I see the potential, I understand the necessity. I can sit back and focus on only my students, implementing Web 2.0 tools whenever possible, never sharing my knowledge or experiences. However, when passion is shared, the passion grows. I truly feel as though the passion was shared and grew through this capstone project, and I am grateful for the experience.